Welcome, Virgo, to your love reading for November of 2018. So, let's look into your energy for. Let's see. Start out the beginning of the month. Beginning of the month for Virgo. Everybody been getting this, so let's do that. Beginning of the month for Virgo and love. So this is the tremors. All right, up late at night, not being able to relax about anything that, for that matter. When it comes to communication, what's being said to you, what's not being said to you, we'll look out for this. So often, sometimes it can be in a, well, not being able to rest is not ever really positive, but where you're out partying or you're doing a whole bunch of different things, where you're up late with your partner, that might be something that you might enjoy, but you need to reflect at times and try to figure out whether or not you're burning yourself out. Clear by the Nine of Swords for Virgo. So yeah, so even the invitations to hang out, to do different things, and your partner not really being into you, feeling a bit insecure and doubtful about the connection, not really sure where you stand with that person, not really receiving the playful vibe from your love interest or significant other, that person not taking care of their child, not going through with the birth. It just depends with somebody who might have that on your mind. So feeling a bit insecure or not really sure that you can manifest a love relationship with someone. And it might be an event or something that might not go all that great, and you might not like it so much. So that's the first part of November, the middle part of November for Virgo. So yeah, you try to pick up the pieces, I feel, and focus on career. You try to step away from maybe an emotional or even physical disappointment with somebody, and kind of keep things rolling when it comes to a new job or whatever you might be doing. Let's see, the end of the month for Virgo, love. So you might be feeling passion for somebody, but there might be a disconnect. By the Queen of Cups, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, and whoever that person might be, there does still seem to be some type of restriction, either because you don't feel at your best. That person might not feel that way with the Eight of Pentacles showing up, and even if you would like to connect to them, there's something even in your own mind or whatever others might think about you, if the relationship was to be out in the open. Or clear by the Eight of Swords for Virgo. King of Swords, still having to kind of detach from somebody because it's the best thing for you right now, and especially if it's maybe an ex-partner, or the fact that someone that you might be dealing with, they're still dealing with another person, that might be an issue. Alright, so let's see, 10 card Celtic cross spread for Virgo. So let's see, for November 2018, hate of everything, a person comes towards you, your response. Their response, advice, or the obstacles and outcome. November 2018. So we do have, you're stressed out, so the Hermit is coming through. Again, introspection, taking some time to read up on things, trying to figure out what's going to work for you, whether or not to stay, whether or not to go. It just depends. Something does seem to be working out. Now this is something that you may need to get into, and that's your happiness. Try to feel good about something. Anticipation, where some of you might be having a new relationship that's pending, but you're not able to connect with a certain person. And even if it is connecting with them, it might be too much right now because you may have been dealing with some tense things. And some of you may have been dealing with somebody who either was into drugs, they have been into a lot of drinking, some habits that you might need to change, whatever it might be. I feel like there might be a lot of this maybe this month, but be careful with that, because that can have an effect on your love relationship. And some of you might definitely be healing from something and kind of closed off a little bit. Maybe in October there was a lot of conflict, maybe arguments, where this month that might continue because the Sun being in Scorpio, that does activate your third house of communication, home, well, not the home and family, your mother, surrounding people in your immediate environment and how you might interact with them. And sometimes with the Scorpio being the 8th house and then communication, think about how that communication might go when you're not liking things in your love relationship. You might speak out about it with somebody, and you're not happy with maybe an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or the fact that you might not really want to get close to somebody because you're frustrated with that person, especially if you feel like you can't trust them or something that has happened between you and someone else. So this is avoiding somebody and just not wanting to be bothered. And the person that you're dealing with, you're either around somebody, you're living with somebody, and they want stability, but for some of you, you could be that's what it looks like. Some of you might be closed off towards another person right now, even though they're tapping on your shoulder, wanting to talk to you, wanting to be around you. You might not be into them right now. And someone else that you're dealing with, they could also be in a relationship or married, and you two are not speaking. You're not on speaking terms right now because you really don't have the ability to, because there are a few different people that are already showing up in the reading. And again, you are reflecting on some things, you're resting. The Four of Swords is your response. And the person that you're dealing with, they're frustrated with you. So it seems to be that somebody, they're impatient with you for some. And even if you express something that you might be impatient about, they're not liking that either. They're not really even trying to hear what you have to say. For some of you out there, there might be something where some of you are having issues with moving on from somebody. A choice in love with the Lover showing up. Clarify the Five of Swords for Virgo. Stress, feeling like there's nothing hopeful to think about. That's the same position Taurus had that in. Clarify the Five of Swords for Virgo. And maybe it was about someone that might owe you something, or you owe someone else something and having to pay it back, but it's not working out in that way. So it could have been about money and finances between you and another person, or the fact that some of you may still be dealing with an ex-partner or giving to them, or vice versa. Something like that could be going on. What about the Ace of Cups in reverse for Virgo? Not wanting to move towards somebody right now because you don't trust them. Alright, for some of you out there, lack of communication, not really sure if they're going to disappoint you like someone else potentially has. Clarify the Six of Swords in reverse for Virgo. Yeah, and having a tough time with just freeing yourself up, with being single for some. And if you feel like you have to do that, that might be a tough thing to do, because you might still be in love with the person that you've been dealing with, or even someone that has done you wrong. Clarify the Seven of Cups, Virgo. Yeah, that a fear of being on your own or being away from somebody that you would like to get closer to. That seems to be very frustrating to see. One more card. Clarify the Knight of Swords in reverse for Virgo, November 2018. You're indecisive about that person because maybe they're indecisive about you for some. Okay. So let's see something from Archangel Michael. Let's check into what's going on. Archangel Michael, Virgo, November 2018. Let go of fear now. It says, Archangel Michael, please help me feel safe and deserving of your guidance. Thank you for clearing me of heavy, toxic, or ego-based thoughts or feelings. And the ego-based thoughts with the Five of Swords being there, really frustrated with somebody. See message for Virgo. Go forward fearlessly. It says, thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand and giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. And some of you, this is a love reading, but some of you might be trying to figure out your life purpose, or the purpose of an event that happened in your life, why someone might be in your life if you really can't connect to them, or the reasons why you might be forced to make a big decision or change with somebody. You would like to open up to them, but for some of you, whatever restriction or whatever might be in your mind that you can't free yourself from, it has a hold on you, whether it's a person, a place, a preference that you might have, whatever it might be. I feel like it's very intense. So what I want to do as well, because I want to make sure I get a complete storyline for everything that's going on. So what I do want to do is shuffle a little bit here. So let's see your person coming towards you, or a person or energy coming towards you, Virgo, for November 2018. Person or energy coming towards Virgo for November 2018. That person seems to be in love with you, right? Your response. You're not. Two things. Some of you you have not closed out a previous relationship and have not moved on from an ex-partner, or you have not found the answers to questions that you have about the reasons why they've done something to you in the past. And even if you love them now, accepting them back right now is not on the cards for you right now. What might their response be? So they seem to be building up momentum, like, and emotionally, and feeling better about you. For some, your response. So the Four of Wands is showing up, and that's being around somebody that you do love, or some of you are in a relationship with somebody. See, there's a lot going on. So it's not going to, again, these are general, but it seems like some of you are either married or you're with somebody and you're around that person, but you might not be in love with that person, and you might have new love that's there. That's for some of you out there. Now, what's going on with the Four of Wands, Virgo? And you might even see that person, a newer person or new love. You might see that person and that makes you happy, but you have not moved on from somebody else, either emotionally or physically, because there doesn't seem to be like travel or making a big gesture for complete commitment with somebody. And let's see the hidden factor for November 2018. So, Seven of Cups has shown up again. The hidden factor seems that you either need to be single, stay single, or remove yourself from somebody, because that something is just in your energy of someone else and it's not the right time for it. So it seems like you have to remove yourself first from a marriage or a relationship, because there seems to be like one or two people, or even three people that you might be talking to for some. And the Seven of Cups is a repeating card that continues to come out. So that seems to be the advice here. And I want to do one more. So I didn't do this with the other signs, but when there's a lot of different things going on, I like to try to make sure that you get as close as to the picture of what some of you might be going through as possible. So let's see, message for November 2018. True love, it says this is the romance of a lifetime for some, with the Ace of Cups that's showing up there. Let's see. November 2002. And then soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Those two cards come through where there needs to be some kind of I won't say it's not a sacrifice, but it's a shift in perspective about what needs to happen first. All right. Taking that step, removing yourself from something, finding closure, and saying, hey, we can't really be together, we can't really be spending time with one another because I'm living with somebody else, or I'm with someone else. And that does seem to be some kind of block there. And and then codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. So often that's going overboard by trying to please the other person, vice versa, flipped around. And wanting so much of that confirmation to come back, but not really depending on that self-love. So it just depends on what you might be experiencing though, but it does seem to be some good things that can happen, but not until something else is removed. So lots of love, lots of light to you, tons of healing vibes. I wish you the best, and you can always go to the website psychicloveheals.com to schedule something for you. Have a good one.